Greetings, everyone. This is Danny from hardtravel.com, let's say it, icon experts. I just got done spending 2 weeks on the world's biggest cruise ship. It's phenomenal. I knew it would be, didn't think it would be quite as good as I really feel that it is. I'm going to talk all about that today, share a little bit of my experience, and of course, answer all of your questions. This entire journey has been a 7-year journey for us since the very beginning of the design all the way through to getting on the ship, enjoying the time in the shipyard. And I'll be honest, when I set foot for the very first time, completely finished, walked right on, saw the Pearl in front of me, I immediately knew that there was something different about the ship. Now I'm going to talk all about that. Once again, answer your questions today. Today is mostly focused on Icon of the Seas. Happy to answer all your questions as always as well. But before we kick it off and get started, it means the world to us if you hit the subscribe button, the bell for notifications, and then of course like and comment. That little like goes so far, making sure that this content gets elsewhere so that we can share what we love with the world. And at the end of the day, at Hard Travel, we are the best place to book Icon of the Seas, Royal Caribbean, and cruises. We've got an incredibly dedicated staff. Many of them were there with us on Icon. We have loved every minute of it so far. And quite frankly, we're very blessed that we get to share what we love with you. So at the end of the day, we're a travel agency. We love to sell travel. We've been in business for a little over 40 years. My grandpa started it, and being able to take it all the way through. My dad joined me on the Icon. My family and I love Royal and travel Royal all the time. And for me, that's really what it's all about. It's about creating memories. It's about sharing the things you love with others. So what I'm going to do today is just talk a little bit about some of my favorite things of Icon, just talk a little bit about the spaces. Then I'll talk a little bit more about the experiences, and I'm really here to answer your questions about Icon. So let me start here. Go into present mode. Gotta get the teacher in me out. So go back. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. Share screen. Okay. So I'm just going to start right here because if you're traveling with your family, with kids, right? This was a huge hit. All 6 water slides, verified, Danny verified, they are incredible. I think my favorite's the drop slide. Though my entire family wasn't with me on this cruise, so we didn't do the 4-person. I think that's going to be awesome when I can get the full family on there. But really, ultimately, people have been doing water slides for a lot of years. In fact, I think Carnival probably had the best game in water slides way back in the day. Royal started adding them later. There is simply nothing like this. With the 6 water slides going, they actually move people through pretty quick as well. It's going to be a massive hit, and I, for one, loved it. Okay. This is one of my favorite pictures possibly that I've ever taken. This is the Meyer family. So Tim Meyer's immediately to my left, and he's the gentleman who runs the Meyer Turku shipyard. We got to be friendly when we were over in Finland. And when I walked up to him, he said, Danny, what was your favorite accommodation? Tell me about all the things. And we had a great conversation about the ship itself. Nobody knows the ship better. The fact that he knew who we were was kind of mind-boggling to me. And it was wonderful because, believe it or not, they use our videos to check out rooms and suites when they're designing new ones. And on the far side is his dad, Bernie, who is the patriarch of the Meyer family. If you've been on a cruise ship in the last 2 decades, or 5 decades, if you will, you've probably been on a ship that they designed. So this is on the Grove Sun Deck, another massive game changer. If you love to travel in suites, and who doesn't love to travel in suites, the massive Sun Deck is truly something Royals never had. I love the bar. I'll show you a picture in just a little bit. The food, though, having great food there at the Grove from morning until later in the evening, absolutely out of this world fantastic. So this is another picture that I'm super excited to share because this is the man, the myth, the legend. This is Sunil. He's one of the Royal Genies. He's just an incredible guy. And I'll be honest, Star Class completely changes the experience. You would expect that. And there's nobody better at it than Sunil. So getting to cruise with him for a week and experience his incredible talents, but also just to catch up with a friend. I remember when we first filmed Symphony right after the return to service. I saw him at the end of the hallway. He saw me. We kind of did one of our, the dirty dancing, run to each other. But, the thing about cruising is people, right? That's completely what this is all about. It's truly about people. And he's one of the best in the industry and just one of those reasons why we love Royal Caribbean. Okay. So another quick one of the water park from a different angle. The blue slide, I actually really, really liked. That was the one I kept going on and on and on. But to me, it was the orange and yellow one there, the drop slide. The other thing, like I mentioned, is people. I'm going to show some pictures here as we go. This is in the aft of the ship. I got to say, guys, I love that they put the adults only area in the aft of the ship. My only thing, I'm getting kind of old. The music was a little too much for me. It was very much, it was very much like Vegas style. It wasn't too loud, but I'm old and I'm going to find a quiet space, which oddly enough, one of my favorite things about this, they moved it from Cloud 17 to the aft of the ship, right, to the hideaway. And one of the ironic things is I didn't really see any kids or families playing at Cloud 17 at all. It's kind of disassociated from the rest of the ship. You can't get to it easily you can, but you have to go intentionally to get there. And so what I found is it was almost twice as much adults only space. So I like that. But these are just some of my favorite people on the planet. This is the crew that got me through COVID. This is part of our travel agency, Brain Trust, we call it. And then Jackie, who's been my mentor for almost 20 years. Another great one, once again, it's the people on the left. My right is Charlie Sylvia. He's the head of the Cruise Line International Association. Incredible gentleman, one of the most knowledgeable humans you'll ever find. And then on the other side is Mr. Carter. So if you watch the live stream of the christening of Icon of the Seas, his family was honored. His first cruise was over 40 years ago on the I think it was the Royal Viking Sun with his grandma. Had an amazing dinner with his family. And once again, people, they've been a big fan for a while, and it was so cool getting to spend time with them. All right, that's it, the Pearl. And I'll tell you what, it adds aesthetics from day to night. It's completely different, but the ability for this to hold up the ship's infrastructure and allow light through, that made this ship so different to me than anything Royal has really ever done before. And huge hit. Out of the park. Surfside family neighborhood, guys. It is everything that it needed to be. I saw kids out there having a blast. Our friends' kids were out there getting their face painted, playing in the water slides, the Surfside. I love the Lemon Post bar. They have these like adult juice boxes where you have, I had Swedish fish, and I don't know what the alcohol concoction was, but it was really good. And I love that Royal's calling it a mommy and me bar, because I can definitely see myself sitting there relaxing while the kiddos play. And then on the opposite side of that, Pier 7 was a huge hit, delicious specialty restaurant. Okay. And then once again, this is what it's all about, right? This is my dad when we did the live stream, sailing away with 15,000 of you. It was really quite incredible. This was on the Royal Loft Suite. Our great friends were staying there. And, I know a lot of people have talked about it. A lot of people thought it might have been more or less than what it should be. It was perfect. It was $200. I would spend that in a heartbeat. The music, I could close my eyes and listen to her sing for 3 hours and not even have a meal and have an incredible experience. But the entire meal being choreographed with the music, with the waiters, the service was perfect. I don't know how they did that. We did this on the very first night, very, very first night. So we were the first ever passengers that dined in the Empire Supper Club. There's one seating. They close the door after 15 minutes and they don't let you in. And if you're not willing to get dressed up, it's not for you. But beyond that, the food was incredible. The cocktails were amazing. They were all paired. They were delicious. And Royal hit it out of the park. Royal needed a high-end experience like this. To be honest, I'm kind of getting tired of the chef's table. It's the same menu. It's even the same menu on Icon. This was totally different. Huge hit out of the park. And what's great is with the next ship with Star having a Chicago theme, they're going to have a different menu. So it will be a truly different experience as well. All right, some incredible people there. My brother from another mother, Eric, and then Doug and Rick, and then my dad, Doug and Rick did an incredible job hosting this cruise. We had just shy of 70 hard travelers on board. It was so awesome getting to meet you, getting to spend time with you. In fact, I see Sarge on there commenting right there. And then, in fact, we had one of my favorite nights was listening to Phoenix, our favorite band, in the Rock Hall. I saw Phoenix 8 times on the 2 cruises, and I could see them another 100 times and be very happy. We drive out to Vegas to see them all. But one of the great things, the reason I put this picture in here was, when they do parades, when they do all of the things that they do and the parade was the best parade that they do. The One Hit Wonders party was better than the 70s party, as far as I'm concerned. It was great because you saw people from every era of those One Hit Wonders, and their song would come on and they'd jump up and get excited. And it was pretty awesome. But what was great is you have quite a few escape routes. So behind the Pearl, there's a great seating area. There's a great seating area at the 1400 bar, but we were able to go out the door. So, it was crowded. I had a place to go. Going to see Phoenix. And so we were able to quickly go out, go down the track, walk back in. And there's so much better flow on this ship. That is possibly the number one reason that I think this is possibly the best ship ever built, is because of the ability to move around. To take an escalator from deck 2, when you get on a perfect day, oftentimes it's really crowded. The elevators, it just simply wasn't, because you stepped in, you could head right up the escalator. They keep moving people. And then the elevators were reserved mostly for people with different needs that needed them. And I loved that concept. All right. So Ice Show, that's the Diamond song. Really cool. Very different than anything I've seen Royal do before. It's called Stardust or Starburst. And it's all about kind of the beginning of time, the elements coming together. The biggest ice rink they've ever had, the first oval ice rink. We saw tricks that we've never seen before. They hit it out of the park there. You'll see the theme with entertainment. All right, guys, that was our Chops order right there. Something brand new on Icon are the iconic cuts. I scoffed. I'm still a little annoyed that they charge Star Class for it. Just in general, I think our Star Class guests pay a premium, and I think they should be included. Doesn't really bother me once I tasted them. This was my steak down here. It was a strip loin, the one at the bottom left when you're looking at it. I'm going to say it. It was the best steak I've ever had on a cruise ship. I've dined on Crystal, and I've dined on Regent, and I've dined in a lot of places. It was delicious and worth every penny of the $29.99 or $19.99 I paid, in addition to dining at Chops. This was the best Chops meal I've ever had in my entire Chops career. All right. That is Phoenix performing up there. That is the music hall. The venue's perfect. The sound was incredible. You can see Taylor's favorite fridge in the back there. Not really a fridge, but the sound, the acoustics, I couldn't get enough. We partied the first night. We partied the second night and the third night, and getting together with so many incredible people really set the entire thing apart. All right, there is Coach. That's my dad. You're going to see him in the Icon video. I know you guys are going to ask, when's it coming? Give us a couple days, right? Many people threw their Icon videos out, slapped it together, said, here you go. Taylor and Jason have put an incredible amount of work into it. I'm so proud of the quality. I'm so proud of what it is. And as I've always said, you can be first or you can be best. And I believe the work that they've done makes it the best video out there.
It will be just under 2 hours, probably getting here Saturday. And there is a drink counter.
So we're looking at Saturday, 2 hours, and apparently there's a drink counter, and now I'm a little bit scared. But I went to Izumi 7 times on my 7-day cruise, right? It was delicious. It was incredible. This was my dad's favorite order. You got the champagne lobster roll. You got the dynamite roll there. The beef teriyaki was actually really, really good. But here's my favorite part. You're going to get to see Chef Travis in the video, and he was there helping, supporting, teaching for all 7 days of Izumi. And my heart was full, and my belly too. You know what? There's been a lot of talk about having to pay $14, $18 for a milkshake. First off, you don't have to. There's so much delicious complimentary food on this ship. It's really, really, really exceptional what they've done by adding more complimentary food. I bought it. It was $14, $18. I enjoyed it. I loved it. Probably wouldn't do it again, but that's the great thing about Icon. You can choose. Icon's a totally different ship at night. This picture gives a little bit of perspective of the asymmetrical design. So when we were walking on the deck, Taylor and I both looked at each other and we got Celebrity Edge vibes, right? They were able to kind of change and tweak the infrastructure. I think it really helps the flow, considerably helps the flow. And Silver Sea as well. We're actually, Taylor and I are going to be sailing on the Silver Nova here pretty soon. And, this whole concept of using AI to design ships, it really is quite incredible. So I loved the dance floor over there, but I really liked how many unique spaces there are on there. And I think Royal did what they did was they took the best of some of the celebrity ships and they put them on board. And I for one, really appreciate that. You can see Royal Bay Pool over there to my left. You can see the Crown's Edge up to the right. Just wanted to give you another perspective. Once again, beautiful at night. Loved that. All right. So one of my request to my genie was I love Indian food. And, he was Indian. And there's some pretty incredible Indian chefs on the ship. So we had them set up a Indian meal for us. And this was also on Indian night in the buffet. So they also had a lot of great stuff there. This is just the first course, of course, and it was out of this world. But it's just one of those things that you can do. You can request if you'd like. Keep in mind, you can actually do Indian meals. You can do all Indian in the dining room with Royal Caribbean. I don't know if you knew that, but they do a great job with Indian. In fact, in some ways, for complimentary food, they may do a better job with Indian than just about anything else. It's I want that curry shrimp again and that butter chicken. Ooh, all the happiness there. Anyway, really, really excited. But once again, this is what made it exceptional. The gentleman on my dad's right, he was our waiter. He was unbelievably good. He was so awesome, funny. The chefs came out. We begged them to come out. And wow, was that food unbelievable. So good. You can see the smiles. Those are real. I won't speak to the heartburn later. But all right, there we go. Perfect day. We went 3 times. And guess what? It was perfect. It was exactly what we wanted it to be. We loved the hideaway. I'll show some pictures here in a minute. But once again, getting to share this experience with my dad. My dad was the best man at my wedding. And looks like not all of them. I started early. My dad was the best man at my wedding, and getting to share that experience with him. I mean, he's been my mentor, my hero for all these years, and it's speaking to so many people that let us know that we helped get people through the pandemic. The people enjoy the videos. It made my heart so big, and I think it made his heart just about explode. All right, stepping back into Surfside. Sorry, I jumped around on accident here. That sculpture was awesome. On the left, you see the slide down into it. I love my kids. Get them away from everybody else. That's what Surfside's about. Between Adventure Ocean and Surfside right there, you have thousands and thousands of square feet. And once again, what's great about this ship is the spaces are used from early in the morning until late at night. So here we'd see families down there at 7 o'clock in the morning eating at the Surfside Eatery. They've got a great kids buffet, adult buffet, complimentary, and then wandering down using the carousel, enjoying the Splashaway Bay. And then later in the evening, I don't know if you guys have seen, I meant to put a picture in here and I forgot, Admiral Awesome. He does a nighttime story every night. The kids were gathered around, loving it. That was a blast. Face painting, carnival games out there. Not carnival, trust me, this is far from that. But the carnival games were absolutely a blast. But I love the concept. I love my kids. But I love it when they're in a place where they're having a great time. And I love it when they're in a place that's dedicated to them. So kudos to Royal for hitting that out of the park. Swim and Tonic Bar. It's a swim up bar. It's awesome. It's too small. Get there early, but it's awesome. I'll say that. Once again, another great picture. This is Central Park at night. You can see this area that bows out there. That is actually the, I wish probably a way to get this full screen, but my brain's not there. All right. But you can see the Pearl right there. So you can see how it impacts. You can actually walk right up those stairs. On the rocks. So now we've hopped over to Coco Cay. This is the bar at the end of Hideaway. That's, guess what? On a bunch of rocks. So that's Vince, who's our Royal, everything. You've seen him. You'll see him again in the video. Keep an eye out for Central Park and maybe a few of the bars. Once again, incredible bartenders. Amazing bartenders. Those are the swim up cabanas, the hideout at Hideaway. Those are awesome. Absolutely phenomenal. Highly, highly recommended. You'll be getting an updated perfect day tour as well. Here's some of our incredible team. So there's myself, my dad on the far side. Taylor's got the camera, of course, crushing it as always. Julia's right there in the middle. She was doing all the still photography, the blogging. Make sure if you guys haven't done it, check out thehartravelblog.com. She's doing an incredible job with it. We all kind of collaborate in different ways to get that content out to you. But just a little bit from our team. And of course, Vince there. And I'd like to introduce you to the Queen of Martinis. This is Celeste. So we did a little martini making class in the Icon ship tour that you'll see. I think I visited Celeste a few dozen times. But she makes a mean, dirty martini and is just an incredible human being. A little more Icon with the Pearl. Once again, you can kind of see the different colors, the shapes. It changes all the time. There's my dad and I getting ready to board the first time, the biggest ship in the world. I love Royal's Terminal. And I have to say, it was designed with Icon in mind. Using facial recognition, you truly can get from curb to pier in 15 to 20 minutes. I jumped off the side of the ship for a first time. It was awesome. It was worth $40. I wouldn't have said it would be worth $150. Kudos to Royal for listening and taking it down a little bit, but it was great. You got to try it. The adrenaline, even though you know it's coming, was phenomenal. Speaking of adrenaline, the chief smile officer, Rover, she got a diamond encrusted dog tag from Effie. That was a pretty cool thing here. But Rover and her handler, awesome. And I didn't know that they could do that on a cruise ship. I love that they have that. I have never seen more smiles happen instantly as, anybody approached. Rover's awesome. This is Jackie. She's been my mentor for the last 20 years. She's the president of Nexion. And we took a picture like this about 15 years ago. And so every time we get together, we do that. It's kind of our joke, little mother-son action, if you will. But she's been a huge part of who we are for a very, very long time. This is Katina. She is the senior vice president of sales for Celebrity. We sat together at the christening ceremony. Another person who I've known for quite a while. These are the people that make the industry happen. And I just feel so grateful that I get to be friends with them. You guys may know that guy. Oh, that was the blurry one. There's the GOAT, Mr. Messi. And it was so cool getting to be, side by side with him, enjoying the christening ceremony. That was a pretty cool thing. The Aquadome is next level. Literally. I mean, it's on the top of the ship, but it's next level in so many ways. And they're just starting. The show, the way we saw it, 45, 50 minutes, incredible, unbelievable. It's only going to get better. This ship was designed with this in mind. I loved it. I loved the overlook just as much. I really loved the Aquadome Marketplace. That, to me, was the best complimentary food on the ship. I ate there almost every single day. I really loved feta. Those gyros were out of this world. I liked the Monte Cristo sandwiches there, too. I really love the crepes because if you don't like crepes, there might be something wrong with you. All right. There's Vince and Taylor, my dad and I, once again, right after the ceremony. You can see all the confetti on the ground there. Such a cool thing, not only to be invited on, but to be invited to the dome, get that seating. And Taylor was able to get some great shots of it. So that's the football that Mr. Messi pressed down to release the champagne. And this is also a really cool picture for me as a human. That's Ken Rush. Ken Rush is he's the head cruise director, kind of the ambassador for the entire Royal Caribbean fleet. He was my second cruise director with my dad. So I've got a picture I need to dig out of him. My dad and I, of course, I was about 4 feet tall at that point. But once again, it was like family coming together the entire time on Icon. It truly was. The fireworks show, of course, after the christening, they did them during nighttime, which is when fireworks should happen. And there's Basile. Once again, you guys notice a theme here. He's the head bartender up at the Grove Sun Deck. If you're in a suite, stop by, take great care of him. He's going to take great care of you. He makes unbelievable drinks. And I loved the fact that they didn't have a photo shop anymore. There's a little desk, but as soon as I took the picture, by the time I finished, everybody's got to do it with semi-dress shoes, right? But by the time I finished the whole event, my photo was already uploaded into the app, and I was able to download it directly from my phone.
And that is during the tour. That shot was during the tour.
Yeah, that shot was while we were filming the tour. So, I went on Vision of the Seas when I think she was the second or third largest ship in the world. She looked like we could pick her up and put her in Surfside. But that's the great thing with Royal as well. I have a lot of people that love Enchantment, Vision, Rhapsody. They live for those. Excuse me. You can also get incredible value for that as well. But, to each their own. And I love that. All right, let's do this. All right. And this is a really little thing. I'm going to zoom in here. I loved that they put the Heritage Royal colors on the Icon. So this is the old Royal Caribbean colors. This is the new Royal Caribbean colors. And I don't know, there's just something about that. I've been cruising with Royal for 34 years now, 35 years now. And I just love that this ship, they paid homage to their original ships. You'll find a lot of history, a lot of art around the ship as well. Okay. And of course, the bacon in the Windjammer was on point. I just got to say. And that was what I wanted to share with you guys today with just some of the pictures from our trip. But now I'm going to dig in. I'm going to answer I'm going to answer your questions. But some of the experiences that I really wanted to point out. Yeah. So one of the experiences I wanted to point out, is the entertainment, right? Nobody does entertainment. Nobody's even trying to do entertainment like Royal Caribbean. You have two Aqua Dome shows. Amazing in the evening. The Overlook just in front of it. A great venue in the evening. Perfect venue in the morning. But the two shows, they've got one for families and they've got one for everybody. In the ice show, same thing. They've got an incredible ice show. They also have one that's specifically for families. In the theater, Wizard of Oz, the sets, the costumes, the design, the voices, the vocals, the choreography, it was as good as what you're going to find on Broadway. It was the best I've ever seen on a cruise ship. You know, they have the big, of course, the LED walls, so much going on. But the nightlife was really fantastic, and they adjusted it a bit throughout as well. The dueling pianos, they hit out of the park. The only problem with dueling pianos is it's going to be the most packed venue every single night. Get there early. You won't regret it. I loved Boleros, having some Latin night, some dancing in the evening. Schooner Bar for me, there's so much emotional connection to the Schooner Bar. But the music hall was going. They also used the Quest. They did the Quest in the ice show. So many things to do from sun up to sundown. And what I found on this ship is every venue was used throughout the day and into the evening, which is going to make it so much better for everybody on the ship. All right. Okay. All right. And then in addition to that, you know, of course, they've got the main dining room, Empire Supper Club we talked about. The specialties were incredible. I thought we ate 3 or 4 times at Giovanni's, I believe. We ate at Chops, which is delicious. Hooked seafood. If you love seafood, those oysters and lobster are to die for. They're so good. I really enjoyed Pier 7 as well. To me, if you're going on Icon, I'd encourage you to get the ultimate dining package. I really think it's worth it on most ships and even more so on Icon. All right, let's dig into the questions a bit. I'll talk more about it as we go. Dorothy, do you think 8,000 people will be able to get off the ship if there's an emergency? I think that 10,000, because crew's got to get off the ship as well too. But it's all certified by Norsky Veritas, Safety of Life at Sea. And because of the way that they've created the flow and the technology, I actually think it's significant. It will be significantly easier. But like most ships, that's never going to happen. Hello to you, Stephen. Hello to everybody there. Nana Barb, Katie, it's so good to, wishing we were sitting down and having a cocktail like on the cruise. So awesome to see you, and Sarge as well. All right, I'm giving those details. Amy, it's great to see you as always there. All right. I wish I was still there as well, 100%. Let's do this thing. Good evening. Can't wait for your thoughts. Happy to share them with you. I can't wait to get on Icon in November. Thanks for the room tours. Just keep in mind, I think we have 8 room tours out, maybe 9. We have 47 that we filmed, I believe. So a few more coming. Totally game-changing ship. Some ports are closing to bigger cruise ships. Where can cruise ships of this size go? A couple dozen ports in the Caribbean, a couple dozen ports in Europe. I mean, lots of places. Yes, there will be less that can, but the bigger issue here is being an LNG ship, liquefied natural gas. It's actually harder to plan because you have to go to port. You know, every port can usually do bunkering of diesel. So this is a different concept there. Bane booked our Surfside Family Suite with you. Can't wait to go on our trip next summer. Thank you. I did the Surfside Family Suite on those pre-inaugural sailings. I loved it. Doug, wishing we were together. Yes, I agree. How busy was the flow rider? This cruise, I don't know that set the exact bar because it was reduced capacity. It was about normal, right? I mean, you may wait during busy times, but keep in mind, in Coco Cay, it was wide open. On certain port days, wide open as well.
So he asked that again.
Gotcha.
I was mentioning that, because it's for kids, I would guess that the boogie board sessions are going to fill up faster.
Yeah.
But if you're stand-up surfing, I would say it's going to be more open.
Yeah. So Taylor was saying, because there's so much focused on families, probably the boogie board sessions will fill up quicker than the stand-up boards. And then, of course, if you certify yourself for the highest level, a lot less people there, which is great. We just talked about that full ship tour, hopefully coming this weekend. Great question, David. The Cape Liberty itineraries are being released next week. So if you want to get on those, so it looks like Symphony's coming out next week. I believe Wonder's coming out next week. as well. We know that it looks like Symphony's going from the Northeast. We don't know that yet, but it looks very much like that's going to be the case. Get on our deployment list now. Shoot a quick email to info@hardtravel.com or down below, click on the contact us link, and we'll get you on there. That way, if you want one of those suites, you want anything, we'll grab it really quick before the prices start to shoot up. And I agree. Empire was worth every cent. Honestly, I think we had maybe 20 people in our group that did Empire. Every single person told me the same thing. Worth it, worth it, worth it. The ship seems like it is very catered towards families. Do you think there'll be value in it for single people without kids? Well, they call it the ultimate family vacation. So you're absolutely right. I think so. I think there's a ton to do. And I think, quite frankly, the way that they've separated spaces out, it might even be better for adults than some of the Oasis class ships. But time will tell that. But keep in mind, too, I mean, a lot of it depends on what you're looking for out of the experience. This weekend, there we go. Yep. How long? There we go. We just got that. Sunset Corner Junior Suite. Is that a room you shot, or should I assume it's like the corner suite you already shot? We got them all. We got them all. And I agree. Ooh, Edge. I love Edge. We love those. We're actually spending a couple weeks on Beyond in May with the family. Hello to you, Katie. Thanks to Danny and Rick for an awesome cruise. It was wonderful getting together with you. It was absolutely fantastic. And then there you go. You're like a hobbit with the sushi. Breakfast, 11Z's, lunch, midday snack, pregame dinner, post-dinner, and don't forget late night post-dinner, Doug. You know that I had late night post-dinner after I dined with you. There we go. Love it. Really excited about the flow of the ship. As someone often pushing a stroller, I'll appreciate the vast options. Absolutely, 100%. And also, I mean, with strollers, obviously strollers aren't escalator or elevator friendly, but by more people using those, it opens up the elevators. And I have to say, to me, the elevator experience was the best I've ever had on a cruise ship. The destination elevators, press the button. I want to go to 14. I go to C. Loved it. Can't wait to see them roll it out elsewhere. I did a total of 2 weeks. Highly recommend the Sunset Corner Suite. Great room with amazing views. I love that. I love it. All right. All right. Can't believe I haven't figured out this is the bottom of the ship blue or it's blue. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I love having those apps. So, I mean, I started talking about it, but all of your photos get loaded in the app. You can purchase one. You can purchase all of them. Of course, they have a small desk there, but I go to the old school days where they literally used to print out 100% of the photos that they took and have you pick them out. I think they do a little less way. Well, you have to wait and see, but I'll say that the bank was closed for me. So I'll leave that there for you. Hello to you. I booked a guarantee on Icon. Can you tell me more about what that means? It depends on what type of guarantee you booked. If you booked a guarantee balcony, you're going to have a balcony. They're going to pick it. The way I tell everybody, look at what you consider as the worst room in that category. 95% chance that's the one that you're going to get, but sometimes you get lucky and you get much better than that. My only question, what is the next Hard Travel Group Cruise? Coming soon. We're going to be putting that out here in probably about a month or so. You're on the list, and I will let you know. For Star Class, what is not included? Well, most everything's included. The big things that I thought should have been included, I mentioned it multiple times, and I'll continue to mention it. The milkshakes, the iconic cuts, I will say, though, they were absolutely incredible at Chops. The tapas at the Trellis Bar, little things that I think they'll figure out and hopefully get around it. But, I mean, was it $200 for the whole cruise maybe for all that stuff, max? Were you able to find any quiet places without a lot of people? Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the Overlook was possibly my favorite spot. Super quiet, super chill, very, very, very relaxed. But yeah, there were a lot of spots there. And, there's spots that are used differently for the day versus the night. The music hall was oftentimes very quiet during the day. They used it for different events and things, but it was pretty quiet. And honestly, taking advantage of some of the bars and pubs during the day, it was quiet as well. What was the new Hideaway Beach Cabana experience include? Similar to the other cabanas. You get the delicious food. They'll deliver it to you. Your drink package flows over. They've got the, I love the cabana service. They also have, one of the things I loved is they had a Bluetooth, and also they had a screen where you could press the button and you can listen to what the DJ is playing at the Hideaway pool, or you can push the button and listen to what the live music is being played down and on the rocks, or you can listen to your own. There we go. Yep. I'm also 6'6". How's the headroom around the ship? Perfect. I had no issues. No issues at all. I love your icon walkthrough videos. Is the Empire Supper Club going to be in Danny Dines? It is not. And we thought about it, but honestly, you can't capture it. You got to take it. That is one dining experience because the music and the choreography and all of that. I didn't even want to do it because I think it's such a wonderful surprise and experience when you get there. Do you think Wonder is going to 3 and 4 day cruises like Utopia? I hope not. I believe so. Hi, Danny. Just joined the stream. You may have already answered. Ship tour, check it out this weekend. Once again, you can be first or you can be best, and we're aiming for the latter. Was it easy to get up and down the 2 levels of the promenade? Absolutely. I mean, there were multiple staircases. The elevators are right at the end. But really, guys, this ship, you can go from the theater at the front all the way to, well, depending on where you are, the dining room in the back. On the top level, you can go all the way from the Crown Lounge in the front all the way back to absolute zero. And it was great. What's the best venue on Icon of the Seas? Well, it depends on what you're looking to do. If you were looking to rock out, it's the music hall. If you want entertainment, nothing's going to beat the Aquadome whatsoever. And if you're looking for great food, I'm still heading back to Azumi. Oh, here we go here. So what type of suite did you stay in? We experienced the Surfside Family Suite and Icon Loft. All absolutely incredible. Unfortunately, right now, Royal does not allow that. I wish they did. We're working on them, and we're working on some partnerships. So hopefully that'll be coming soon. Do you think Empire will be one of those things that's very hard to get into? Absolutely. 30 seats a night, 7 times during the cruise, 210 people max can experience it, which means that, yeah. But honestly, there's a lot of people that don't want to pay $400 for a couple to go for a meal, and I totally respect that. But if you're looking for something over the top, and there's also people that don't want to get dressed up, respect that too. With all the music venues on the promenade, do the music overlap each other at night? I didn't really find that it did. You know, there were 1 or 2 moments where it did, but I love, like, and I don't know why I blanked out on the pub. The singer Kevin, he was out of this world. I think we listened to him a dozen times over the 2 weeks. Really, really good. But it is funny listening to somebody absolutely crush a country song and then speak with their heavy Scottish accent. It was really pretty cool. But Celeste was there, my BFF, pouring martinis. Of course, Kevin was there as well, too. But that venue, the music faces in. And what they kind of did is they kind of alternated between Boleros having music and Schooner Bar having music. And then, of course, the dueling pianos doesn't really go up against anything. Was the Pearl crowded during the day? What I found was the Pearl was crowded with people taking selfies here and there. Beyond that, it was never crowded. Maybe, well, it was a little bit crowded when they did the parties on the promenade as well. So, but I mean, realistically, to me, Royal made some revenue sacrifices, right? Getting rid of the promenade view rooms, that to me completely transformed the ship. It's expensive. I know that. I think it's going to deliver consistently the best guest satisfaction in the industry. It's exactly what they promised. The new design, the art, the architecture, all of that. It really was perfectly designed. There's things that they'll work on, right? There's a little bit of a bottleneck coming out of absolute zero, right? Everybody's going down that hallway for a second, but then you get to the promenade and it opens up really quick. And for me, they sacrificed by saying, instead of having a bigger hallway getting in and out, we're going to make the venue bigger. I think that's a very clear-cut thought and a win. Honestly, there were not a lot of faults that I found. I think there could be better storage in some of the rooms. I think there might be some things that I would tweak with some of the accommodations. But at the end of the day, it's the ship that you usually go for. And the ship has everything that anybody would want. You've got great live music venues. You've got delicious food options, amazing paid and complimentary ones, depending on what you're looking for. You've got phenomenal service. Of course, they usually take their top employees and they put them on the newest ship. Very excited for that. I mean, reconnecting with so many friends and crew members that I look at as part of my family, it was really quite exceptional. All right. If you're in the promenade, you could hear a lot of different music, but if you're in the venue, you didn't hear any bleep. I agree with that completely. What's your favorite NBA team? Is there another NBA team other than the Lakers? I didn't think there was. Maybe there are. Who knows? All right. As a fan of the pub on the promenade, how did you like it? It looks considerably better. It's the best pub on the promenade, mostly because you can get in and out pretty easily. I love the way the music's kind of set up there. I also love that they have darts. Of course, point and feather. That's where the name comes from. Is that the first royal ship with darts? I don't know. Maybe it's not, but it seems to me like it could be. But absolutely loved it. And I like the location kind of on the side of the promenade where it was as well. So, but, once again, guys, if you think about, I have a lot of people that ask me about price. So one, Royal's got a wide variety. So does Celebrity, Silver Sea, Norwegian. There's a perfect option for everybody. But if you compare this ship to doing a week at a really nice resort in the U.S., it's probably going to be cheaper. And you're going to get a lot more entertainment. You're going to get a lot more food. If you compare it to taking a trip to Europe with the family, it's going to be a lot cheaper. And, really what Royal's been saying is our competition is not other cruise lines, right? Everybody's trying to bring new to cruise in. There's hundreds of millions, billions of people that have never been on a cruise. And so what they're really trying to do is compete with Las Vegas, with Florida, right? Compete with Mexico and the Caribbean and all-inclusive resorts. And I really think that there's nothing like this out there. You can go to 5 different major production shows, right? Where else can you do that? I mean, you can go to Vegas and you can go to 5 different hotels and pay for, 5. Those shows are getting to be $300 or $400 right now. God forbid you go listen to a great music venue and you're paying $500 or $600. It's all relative. When you're ready for this ship, when you're ready for Star, it's going to blow your mind and you will not regret it. But if it's not there for you yet, Utopia, right? You can cruise on Utopia on a back-to-back-to-back for less than a week on Icon, and in some cases considerably so. And you get Coco Cay 3 times like I just did. I did 3 times on Coco Cay in 2 weeks, and I loved it. There's wonderful options. I just had a guest that did Star Class, and basically for 14 days on Utopia, it was less than 7 days on Wonder. And for them, getting 4 stops at Coco Cay was perfect. Maybe you're not in Star Class. You want to do a balcony. There's great value to be had there too. So there's lots of value to be had out there. There's nothing like Icon. There's really nothing like Icon. Do they have any plans for an Icon class ship at Cape Liberty? Possibly at some point. I mean, the second one we know is Star. So she's going to be heading out of Port Canaveral. And 2026, we're going to have the third one already. So I wouldn't be shocked if that ship came out in quarter 2 or 3 of this year. The deployment for it. So we'll see what that looks like. But I could see that. I could very, very much see that. Also, what's going to head to Galveston, right? Maybe Harmony gets replaced with Wonder and, they backfill. I don't know. Katie, it was wonderful seeing you again. And I'm excited for you to get back on for Thanksgiving. Thank you for an amazing crew and even more for letting us hang with you guys on the last night. It was a blast and it was my honor. Thank you for being you, for your service, for everything else. It was awesome getting to spend time with you as well. Are all the Icon lofts the same size, both interior and balcony? Yes, except for the accessible Icon loft. And thank you, Royal, for giving our guests that have accessibility needs the first opportunity to truly experience Star Class. I love it. They've got the elevator in there. Great. We already have that video out. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Taylor, we were actually able to film every category of accessible room and suite on the entire ship. All right. Still waiting on Hero of the Seas. I thought we agreed on it. It was going to be Horror of the Seas. Come on. You guys know. There we go. Was the Grove and Suite Sun Deck much different than from the rest of the ship? Depending on what you look at, less people per square footage. Absolutely. Elevated food. Yes. Amazing bartenders. Fantastic. And better furniture. So yeah, it really was. All right, guys. Any other Icon questions you got? I'm happy to answer them now. Once again, world-class entertainment, hit it out of the park, being able to walk in, to sit at the Pearl Cafe. Oh, by the way, guys, I know they said elevated. I wish there was more options. I can verify this. A pulled chicken sandwich at 2 a.m. is fantastic, especially after you had pizza at 1 a.m. I wish they didn't close it at 2, but the Pearl Cafe is open 24/7. I love that they added grab and go. They had these little containers with hummus and ranch and veggies. I walked right past that. I got the cookies. I got the pulled chicken sandwich. They had made to order food. It was all really, really good. Are there still photo ops with it? Absolutely. It just, instead of having to wait, once you get the pictures done, once they upload them a few minutes later, you can go right into the app and you can purchase them, which is awesome. Awesome. So, all right. Well, if we don't have any other questions, I'm going to wrap up today, but I will say it was an iconic vacation. I've been on more than one ship that I walked on board and said, well, they overpromised and they underdelivered. Royal didn't do that here. Everything they said it has been, it will continue to be. I've never had a group cruise with that high level of guest satisfaction. Our guests are loving it. Obviously, reduced capacity is great and a great reason to book early, but it's going to deliver time and time again. It's phenomenal, and I can't wait for you guys to experience it. Let's see if I got any last-minute questions. I chose Icon to present for my project and marketing class. Well, it's a master class in marketing. They hit it out of the park. They crushed it. 9 and 7-year-old, they're so excited for Adventure Ocean. Do you feel the upgraded Adventure Ocean? I do. I love the arts and crafts area with the light tables in there. I love that they have the huge arena. So those kids that are going to, be very active, you've got great things for them. The theater is awesome. Taylor was explaining to me how expensive the bubble machines they had in the theater were. They didn't skimp really on anything. This weekend. All right. There we go. Yep. How many soft serve stations do they have? I only tried 6 of them. There might be more. Was the ice show new and better? New and better. No drones. I missed the drones, but it was very different. And I think because of the technology and because of the shape of the ice rink, they were really able to do things that they've never been able to do before. So love that. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to end it now. If you need anything, most importantly, right, do us a quick favor before we end. Hit the like button. It means the world to me, to my team that produces all of this stuff as well. And ultimately, when you're ready to book, reach out to Hard Travel. And if you want a piece of the rest of the Caribbean deployment, the Northeast deployment, the LA deployment with Anthem, it's coming in the next 2 weeks. We've got our list ready. We're going to grab those spots right when they become available for our guests. So make sure you reach out and get ahead of that so you can get exactly what you want. It doesn't obligate you to book. It just makes sure that we're going to be able to take that space offline for you. So have an awesome one. Ciao for now. And, hope you're ready for an iconic vacation very soon.